Now we will discuss the conditional formatting of data. So in order to perform the conditional formatting, for example, this is the subject 1 marks for all the students. I want to apply the conditional formatting. In conditional formatting, there are different rules, among which today we are going to discuss top and bottom rules. Top rules means I want to see how many student in this subject has got their highest marks. Either one student, I can select minimum highest student, one student which is the highest among all, or top two students or top three students, and so on. So for that, first of all, I am going to select this data. Then I will click on home, conditional formatting. In home, there is a style column. In a style column, you can see over here we have the option of conditional formatting. So we are going to click on this conditional formatting. Then we have top and bottom rules. So here is top 10 items. So I'm going to click on top 10 items, and I have total 10 items. So I want top two items or top one item, top most item or top two item. For example, I have selected top two item. I can choose customize it from by choose selecting from any value over here from 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10. And then I want to highlight it with any custom color. So I'm going to select on custom format, and here is the border and fill. So in fill, I have some colors. If I want to select any more colors, so I have this option more color. I'm going to click on it. I can select any light color from here. For example, this is the lightest color, light green color. Okay, I have selected this color for the highest students or the topmost students who have achieved the topmost score in subject number 1. Then I'm going to click on OK, and now you can see the top two items, the top two student marks who scored the highest marks in subject number 1 is highlighted. Similarly, in the same data, I can achieve the bottom two marks as well. So I'm going to select this data again. Then I'm going to click on conditional formatting again, and previously I have selected top 10 items. Now I'm going to select bottom 10 items, and in bottom 10 item, instead of 10, I want to choose the bottom two students who get the lowest marks among all. I can select some already predefined values from here as well. And I already told you that if you want to custom format, you want to choose any custom color, you can go from here to the custom format and can pick any color. So right now I want to represent with light red fill with the dark red text for the bottom two students who scored the lowest marks for subject number 1. So I'm selecting this one, already defined the custom tag effects. Okay, already defined effects instead of custom effects. Okay, now you can see. Now I'm going to apply the same for all remaining subjects. So similarly, first of all, I'm again going to select subject number 2, then conditional formatting, top 10 items, custom format, more colors, lightish color. This I have previously selected. Okay, okay. And instead of 10, I want to choose any two highest students. Okay. Then in the same data, I want again the bottom two items, the bottom two marks of students in this subject. Light red. Okay. Similarly, I am applying all these values, these conditional formattings for the entire data. So again, custom format, top 10 items, more colors, lightish color, this one. Okay. Okay. And top 2 students marks in this subject, and then I am going to select the bottom. So here are different conditional formatting. If you want to choose those students who scored greater than 60, less than 60, above average, below average, so there are many options you can choose as per the need of your criteria. See, now you will continue while practicing for the remaining number of cells. I'm oh, I have done for the entire 10 instead of bottom 10 items. Now I have to select from here bottom 2 items. Okay, so this was the conditional formatting. Now we are going for the sum if and count if formula. Count if formula, what is count if formula? For example, I have different multiple grades so available over here. So how many students get A, B plus? If I have thousand of students data, so if I want to see in my data how many students get A grade, how many students gets B grade, how many students get C plus, and similarly how many students get failed. So I want to count. So we have the formula which is known as CountIf formula. So A grade students quantity, B, then we have B plus, then B, then C plus, then C, and then F. So I am going to bold these text, these grades, and also try to apply them in the center aligned format. So how many, and I'm making a text box behind all borders from here and thick outer border. Now how many students get A grades? So for that we have count formula is equals to COUNT. Count, when I'm going to select type count, so there are so many formulas available in the drop down list, in which one is count if and count ifs. So right now I'm discussing with you count if formula. So I'm going to select count if and then double click to select it, or either after selecting it by using the arrow key, I'm going to press the tab button. The formula is selected. It is asking about the range, that what is the range I want to count. So in which range I want to count among these data. Here is my data range available from these grades. In this particular data range, comma, if I found A grade, so count if in data range E grade is available. Count how many times we have E grade in this data range. This formula means count in this data range if you found E, that how many times you found E in this data range. So if when I'm going to press enter, you can see I have only one value, only one students get A grade. And you can cross check in the data that only one student scored A grade. Similarly, the same formula I'm going to copy, select it, click on it, then I'm going to select the formula from here, and I'm going to press Control C button together, that is copy. Then I'm going to press Escape button. Then I'm going to click over here and Control V, then Control V, then Control V, then Control V, and then Control V. The same formula required for all the grades. Only I have to change the criteria. So in order to get the to count how many B plus I have in my data, I am going to change the criteria from A to B plus. So again, students one student get B plus grade. Now B grade, only one student get one only one student get B grade. Again for the C plus, it is just a coincidence that only one student is having different grades. It's not necessary always. It might vary with respect to data you have. How many students get C grade? You can see one. And if you see the criteria of F grade, now you can see you found changes over here as we have so many F grades in our data. So you can see we have 5 F grades in our data. So this is how we use count if formula in order to count the values available in our data. Similarly, we have SumIf formula as well in Microsoft Excel. For example, we have an admission department, and in admission department, there are we are giving the admission in 3 different departments. For example, we are giving BBS, DPT, and nursing. So, for example, on day one, on day one, in BBS and DPT and in nursing, programs, this is programs, days, programs, and number of admissions. So, for example, this is the type of data we have. Control C, Control V, then this is for the day 2. Then I'm going to copy again, Control C and Control V, then Control V, and then Control V. For example, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7. In an entire week, the different enrollments we have done in different departments. So I'm making a table over here. All borders first, then thick outer borders, thick box border. So for example, in day one, on day one first, we get 15 admissions, 12 and 17. And in a similar way, this was the first day data. So thick border box. Then if I want to differentiate the data day wise, thick border, then again thick border, then again thick border, and then again. This is how we can make our data more attractive. So this is how we are going to make our data. Now, for example, on second day we have different admissions. For example, I'm going to make all these numeric values in the center line form. So in BBS second day we have 20 admissions, in DPT we have 12, in nursing we have 14. Similarly, I'm entering some data so that we can have a concept of SumIf formula, that how to use SumIf formula. For example, I want to find that how many total after 1 week, how many students are enrolled, and or we have given the admission to how many students after 1 week in a specific department. For example, PPS department. You can choose any. So instead of searching these things in this data and then counting that 17 in this, 14 in this, 17 in this, you can have a SumIf criteria. So what is my SumIf criteria? After 1 week, how many students we have in our BBS department, how many enrollments we have for BBS department. So is equals to sum. So we have a SumIf formula. So I'm going to select this formula by clicking on tab or by double clicking using your mouse. Then range, in which range I want to see. Are you getting this? In which range I want to. So over here, my range is all these department values, that is from here to here, all these values as my range. Among this range, my criteria, what I want to find in this range, my criteria is I want to sum all the students enrolled in BBS departments. So in this entire range, from here, you can see from here to here, we have all the departments name, but I am going to define my criteria among all these department, which criteria I want in my result. So comma, what I want in my result is I want to sum all the values which I have in this range with the title of BBS. Are you getting my point? So how many students we have in BBS department? So it is going to sum all the BBS students which we have enrolled an entire week, and will give you the total number of students at the end of week 1. Sorry. So this is the range in which I want to select a criteria. So what is my criteria in this particular range? Cri- my criteria is BBS. So how many times BBS we have in this range? And against this, so in this range where BBS text is found, then I have to give the some range criteria. So on the behalf of some range criteria where BBS is available, it is going to sum only the value available against BBS and will give us the entire week one result of BBS enrolled students. So first of all, I have to select all the criteria, all the range I have of different fields of different programs we have device. So you can see we have selected in all the range. Then criteria I have mentioned that I want to sum all the BBS student of week one only. Then which value I want to sum? Only BBS result. So sum range. So here is my entire sum range values. You can see here is my entire cell range values from this value to the to this value. Among these values, it is going to sum if it founds the text BBS. So only sum the values against the text BBS and will give us the overall week one result of BBS students. So you can see we have 113 students available in PBS. So this is the count if and SumIf formulas. So we will finish our lecture till here and we'll continue some more formulas in the next lecture. Thank you very much, students.